I mean, come on. Look at this place. It's gorgeous. Round 2 is over. The event is done. Congratulations to Eagle McMahon. Actually, Nico and Eagle tied, and then they went into a playoff, and Eagle took it from Nico in the playoff. Central Coast Disc Golf covered the event, so if you want full tournament coverage, stay tuned to their YouTube channel. They should have it out here. I'm not sure when, but they should have it out for you guys to watch. I'd interviewed Mike Stradley, and he is one of the major components that put together this event, and I'd interview him before the event began just to kind of get his thoughts and feelings on the whole having marksmen in a tournament.
Well, what happened was we obviously have some freedom because it is non-sanctioned to kind of do some different things. So in the past, as a ball golfer, Ben did stroke and distance and hazards, and it was goofy where you're seeing Paul Ulibarri crawling in the lake in his underwear and putting from there because it was a hazard, and he could, you know. And I'm like, you know, let's try something different. Let's go to traditional ball golf rules, but we wanted something to make it more challenging. And the Marksman seemed like a perfect fit since it's a non-sanctioned event and we can do it. And I know some people out there have done it before at tournaments and whatnot, but this is going to be the first time that you've got some big names playing for big money. And on film too, you know, we've got you here, Central Coast here and whatnot, and I'm real curious to see how it plays out. And each day we're going to switch the courses, so it'll be Marksman's on one side, Innova Baskets on the other, switch, and I want to see that score differential. So we're going to try to keep the tee pads pretty close to where they were day one, and I'm just dying to know, you know, what is that score change going to be for these guys. So, you know, there's a few players out there that were just like, what, this is crazy, but it's been a huge discussion that you see out there on your guys' podcast. The other ones, you know, you read about it on the internet, and some people feel strongly that we need to make disc golf harder. You don't see in ball golf at the end of a 4-day tournament, you know, they're sitting 40 under par, and you see that with disc golf all the time. So do we need to make it harder? And some people are really strong on one side, some are really strong on the other, and I saw that with this tournament. Some people were really strong against it, and other people were like, bring it on, sounds fun, let's do this.
So I love traveling for disc golf. I love going all over the country. I've been to Sweden. Hopefully I can get to Japan. We'll have to talk to Jeremy about that. But one of the things that always kind of gets me is that because I bring all my camera gear, I don't get to bring my discs. And yes, I could borrow other people's discs, but sometimes I just want to throw my discs at all these awesome courses that I go to. So wait a minute, hold on. I got the Aviator. Yes, not out yet, coming in November. You guys are gonna love this Aviator Dynamic Discs. I'm gonna give this a toss. I'm not really that good, so we'll see how it goes. Right into a tree. So and today I followed mostly the pros, you know, kind of like yesterday. There were some good putts and there were some bad putts. There were quite a few putts that if it had been a regular size basket, maybe it would have went in, maybe it wouldn't have, but I think it really added a challenge to today's round. One big thing that people told me, I can't remember if I told you in the other video yesterday, but they told me that it made them think about their putt more. Some people said that they putted better on the Marksman than they did on the regular sized course. And I thought, how did you do better with a smaller basket? Well, it made them think more. They had to think and they had to concentrate on their putt more because they knew that it wasn't going to catch quite as well as a regular sized basket. So maybe that's a positive. bridge. That is such a cool background to have on a disc golf course. Come on. So one of the criticisms that I've seen on Facebook from these videos of me showing the Marksman is that why change the basket? Why make it different? You know, they don't make the basketball hoop smaller. They don't make a soccer goal smaller. They don't change the size of a ball golf, the hole. At least I don't think they did. No, it's got to be the same size. The thing is that the new people that they're watching disc golf, they may wonder, why are people shooting so well? You know, as you know, we go back in disc golf history. I don't think scores were this big. You don't see tournaments ending with someone shooting 60 down or 50 down, you know, in a tournament. So people feel like these new players that are throwing just throwing incredible distances, maybe they're not being challenged enough. Maybe the courses aren't challenging enough, and so that's why you see some of these events have stroke and distance, or they have super tight OB lines, or they put a basket, just trying to make it more difficult for the players to challenge them more. So to change the size of the basket to make it smaller, now economically it would be a tremendous burden to a lot of courses out there right now that already have baskets in place, and they don't have the money to maintain the park they have now and to maintain the disc golf scene. They may not have the funds for that. So to make them get new baskets would be way too costly. So I completely understand that point. But maybe certain tournaments can have the option of having a skinnier basket with a smaller cage in their event so that they can challenge the players more.
The Marksman idea came to me and Mike probably about 18 months ago, and our thought behind it was, my whole argument with disc golf has always been, disc golf's going to be really, really difficult to sell mainstream heavy media when guys are putting down super duper low numbers, you know, 21 down, 19 down and around. And my thinking was, you have to find some way to make the field more equal for the players that don't have a 700-foot crush, that don't have 500-foot arms, you know, that as putters, strong putters and really good short game players could take an advantage over a guy with a long arm. And for an equalizer, as far as assessing skill all the way around the green, that was my thought on it with the Marksman Basket. So my first impression is, a lot of disc golfers, and this is a very general, broad statement, there's no indicator on any one player in specific, but even the recreational players I play with, inside 10 to 15 feet, they tend to be very aggressive and strong, and there's no touch putts. And the Marksman Basket really, really lends itself to requiring a player to have a touch putt, a finesse putt. The jamming at home inside of 15 feet and guaranteeing threes from 10 and 15 feet wasn't there today. And it was frustrating for a lot of our players. You know, you practice on a full-size basket, per se, any brand, and it's a lot more forgiving. The game is a lot simpler in that level. Now today on our tournament standard baskets, they were all in-ground. They were all permanently fixed. There was no temporary base on those. We had special fitted collars for those. And you've seen the results of the high caliber basket that we're playing on. It was a game changer. And AMs all the way to pros. Guys were playing a smarter approach to the game. They thought about their shots and process more, and their putts from 10 feet out became very, very technical putts. They weren't easy putts to make by any means. I put up $5,000 of my own money 3 years in a row now to pay top level pros from all across the world to come out and challenge our course and see what their abilities are. And this was a marking point for me as far as gauging how difficult our course is versus a regular basket and the Marksman Basket. And it was absolutely proven it made the sport more challenging. There's no doubt in my mind. You can't tell me that the numbers would be any different with any player. It was very, very apparent. And their games all had to change and take a little bit different shape. That is a down-to-earth fact. So for the criticisms, people are always going to have criticisms, and I'm willing to accept those, and I'm open to those criticisms and change. Every time you try to change something, whether it's for the better or for the worse, you're going to have backlash. You're going to have some pushback because some people are accustomed to a certain way of things, and I'm not trying to change disc golf, the entire thing by myself, but I would like to see some more some more stringent scoring processes. You know, all of our viewers, first time intro to me. I'm just a normal dude who's a food and beverage manager at a restaurant. I scrimp and I save and I push everything I possibly can to make this thing happen. My owners at Canyon Springs have done a fantastic job of letting us install permanent collars here. I encourage people that say they're going to grow the sport to continue to do so. You know, be demonstrative in your actions. You know, don't just say it. You got to live it. You got to do it. And I would be absolutely hypocritical if I wasn't throwing my own money at this thing every year trying to make a living for our touring pros. Help your touring pros. Buy merch. You know, play up. You need to play up. Play to your best ability. Stop sandbagging, America. Get out there and win. Be winners.
So you probably are wondering, did it really make a difference in the scores? I mean, I know I was curious about that. So I wrote down some of the scores from the top players that were here. The Eagle McMahon, Paul Ulibarri, Nico LaCastro, and Eric Oakley. Those were the 4 guys that were on the lead card at the end of the event. And then I looked at some of the other people's scores and that were on the open side and even on the advanced side. And from what I could see, the difference was from about 2 strokes to as high as 9 strokes that I saw the difference between, because what they had done is they had...
And each day we're going to switch the courses, so it'll be Marksman's on one side, Innova baskets on the other, switch.
So you play 2 rounds on a Marksman basket. So you were able to play the course with regular size Marksman. So we got to compare to see. Now the weather was pretty much the same. It was about the low to the mid 60s. The wind for both days, let's see, Saturday was about a 9-mile-an-hour wind. Today was about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. So not a big difference. So that really wasn't a big factor. Now one could argue that there was a factor of maybe practicing because you've already played the course with one particular basket and now you're playing it again, so you kind of figure out different lines and you get to practice the holes a bit more. So that could cause some difference. But to see a difference between anywhere from 2 strokes to up to 9 strokes, I can say from my watching that the Marksman basket does make a difference in someone's performance. It does make a difference in what you're concentrating on, how you attack a certain hole. Are you going to be more conservative? Are you going to be a little more aggressive with your layups? Or with the Marksman, are you going to be a little more conservative with your layups? I encourage you, if you've ever thought about maybe adding something, a new level to your tournament that you're running, why not try a few Marksmen? See, if I've read some where some tournaments actually add a Marksman, only add maybe 1 or 2 Marksmen. Now remember, you can't sanction your event if you use the Marksman because they are not a PDGA approved, because they don't meet the spec standards for a PDGA approved basket. I want to thank Canyon Springs. I want to thank all the people involved with this Disc Dash for Cash event. It was an amazing event, amazing venue, Really cool staff. Mike and Ben did a tremendous job doing everything for the event, and I had a great time. Hopefully the players had a great time too. Will they be back next year? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see the support they get throughout the year to see if they can run this event again. Hopefully they'll be able to bring the Marksman back into the event and make it a real challenging, unique event. All right, so there's this beautiful open field. I'm gonna give the Aviator one more try. Hold on, Aviator, sweet. I can't throw very far, but man, that thing flies sweet. I gotta go get it now.